Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin.
Hello.
Oh,
interwebs,
cunts.
See,
Everyone's a cunt. Everyone's a cunt, and so's my wife.
Jerry's a bit annoyed because his background is not working as predicted.
No. Skype apparently has a resolution, but Skype's resolution is not what it is. So
Skype's resolution is we will fuck your background.
Yeah. What size does Skype use? Skype goes this by this. Okay, well, I'll make my fucking image in that size. Oh, we're just going to shoot the middle of that. Well, then that's not your fucking resolution then, is it? If you're just going to shoot the middle of it, the resolution is just the middle bit. Give me that size, Skype, you monumental cocks.
You might be happy to know that I'm working on plans to using video on Discord instead of Skype
Right.
on in the future.
Will that be any better? Because no harm, I've seen Yellow Belly in the past. They used some sort of weirdness that may or may not be
additional software on top of Discord.
Oh, do they? Oh, no, that's good. Well.
Yeah, welcome demons up. I don't know why you're getting French ads. Maybe you've ordered too much French dressing from
Have you surrendered recently?
Jill.
Hi, Jill. I'm just saying, Demon. Is it a case that you've surrendered? And that's why it's doing it.
Have you lost your recent war game?
Not even war game, just in life in general. Did somebody cut you off in traffic and did you think, I'm going to fucking have you, mate? And then they turned around and looked at you and you just waved at them. And they drove on. And the internet knows. And now you're getting French things.
Yeah,
holy shit, so hot it's melted my fucking lip seal.
Well, welcome, long time no see. And you were right, the project system actually is working a bit better again since Tom has kicked the SQL server in the NADs.
Yep, sure, definitely did something. He told me what he did. So it's like, oh, don't even talk to me. I don't want to learn. Tom. It's just,
yeah,
that's not going to be good.
That's a rabbit hole nobody wants to go down, I can assure you.
Correct.
I skimmed the surface and I screamed in agony and pain and walked away quickly.
Screamed in agony, pain and walking?
Yes.
What's in my brown paper bags? Not bottles of whiskey for once, because they're sitting on my floor. Who's in the audience? Jam here yet? No? Oh, he'll be really annoyed he missed this. Tauros is there, though.
Tauros.
So Warlord have sent me the new 10.5 heroic scale Carthage. So I've got Heffy lumps. I don't know why they sent them in brown paper bags. I honestly have no fucking idea. But they did, every sprue came in a different brown paper bag. It's cool.
So, somebody in postage and packaging was, I'm going to humor myself, and I put this in brown paper bags just to see what happens.
Carthaginians.
Ewok kebab, hello.
Romans, they go the house. Yes. And then another brown paper bag, which contains
other plastics color
bases. Carthaginians are all grey. Romans, they go the house, are a ochre. I'm going to go with ochre, brown. Yeah, kind of like a dirty sand.
So if you really can't be asked to paint them, you still tell them apart.
Bases are green, which is like grass. Then your men are two different colours. That's all you need. It's the Osprey Army. So I'll be doing a video on these shortly. Probably next week it'll come out because we're all
minimal viable product
things.
Presentation.
That's the one.
Brown paper bags.
I mean, you say that, but minimal for me at one point was just fielding bases with I'd written on in biro what the unit was. So the fact that these are fucking three-dimensional and not just writing.
Well, if it's just going by bases with words on it, aren't you technically using tokens?
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
At
My only problem is
playing
playing board games.
I somehow now imagine the wholesaler of Warlord going through the streets on a long trench coat going, do you want some brown paper bag miniatures, little boy?
Lloyd got really, really, I don't know, confused or annoyed whenever I was just going, Wallad. You from Wallad Games. It's not their name.
What?
It's the name I'm giving them, Lloyd, and I'm not doing it again. The elephants are quite nice, actually. But let's hide them in case Jamascat arrives. You can't see them. So, yes. It's not a board game at that point because it's not played on board.
What year are we betting
Still a
on when
war
Lloyd
game.
puts paints on his?
I don't know. Can we narrow it down to decades? I don't want to be too focused on a whole year.
Well, I've had fun today when Ben showed all those Roman pictures, and I tagged Lloyd. Lloyd, look, it's easy. You can build it.
He put them into our content channel as well. Put in a picture of a manor house, and I immediately linked the Sarissa building that I have. Going, I've got one of those. Lloyd's going, I'm sure you do. Well, obviously, mine's not painted, Lloyd, or even built. It's still in the plastic bag, still in the sprue. So he's got a bit of work to do on that front.
Jill heard grumblings about the cost of the starter for the Heroic 10, but didn't bother to look into it.
Oh, all of their Heroic 10s are all overpriced when you consider other manufacturers exist. So, yeah, it was never going to be the cheapest thing on the market. It's still fairly reasonable. It's just, it could have been reasonable, bro.
Yeah, speaking of reasonable, Catalyst Game Lab actually pulled through on the postage front for me.
All right.
So
What, you're not getting charged twice, or?
No, the initial pledge, the wording on the Kickstarter was, we are aiming for quote-unquote local shipping fees with all hubs and stuff. And then when postage was calculated for the first time for me, it was something about $32 on an $80 pledge.
Yeah, that's a bit balls.
Yeah, and that's the long talking thread in the forums, and they since then have adjusted shipping, but it was still something along those lines of 23 euros.
Yeah.
And I called them up and said, no, local shipping within the EU for a packet that size is max 11 euros.
Well, I'll just stop you there. You have to add the caveat, except Denmark, who are a fucking lawless Wild West when it comes to shipping charges. They are. Post-Nord is some sort of horrendous fuck.
Might be, but still...
but the rest of the EU...
They claimed in the Kickstarter they would
26.
aim for local shipping.
Yeah.
And then they came around and said, yeah, that's a bit high. We can offer you a discount on shipping for $30.88 or a voucher of $60 for our online store. Yeah, $60 in the online store would be nice if they wouldn't charge triple-digit shipping.
Shipping and then fucking tax and import duties on top of it.
Yeah,
I'm
so
waiting
I said,
on
yeah, thanks. I'm taking the $13.88 and
yeah. Oh, 100%.
It's just a game of waiting. Whoever from the cogs gets the parcel first.
I'm just waiting to see. I got shipping notification from Medbury for I backed Beowulf with the dragon a while ago. I got the shipping notification a couple of days ago that it was leaving Australia, and I got a shipping notification today from the Royal Mail going, it's on its way. This is going to cost you. We'll let you know how much it does whenever it lands. Going, just tell me now. I don't want to fucking wait. Tell me and I will pay you, you cunts. I'm so glad there's a free trade agreement between the UK, Great Britain, and Australia, because that apparently is not helping in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, kind of everything.
Speaking of trading with Australia, Traders Galaxy bought War 3. Oh,
I've heard of that.
70 pre-orders he's aiming for.
Yep. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but is, I think, the biggest pre-order he's done. I think the dinos were only around 50.
Mm-hmm.
So I will be in there like a hairy, scary bear.
And then you will show Lloyd even more bot war that he hasn't got.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, why else is he? Why else is he here? He's got kaiju to paint. The prick. If he just goes ahead and paints those, he might get a chance of playing with a bot. Wow.
There's a free
What
trade
the fuck?
agreement if Madberry Miniatures sold dead sheep.
Well, maybe they could have sent me a dead sheep with stuff inside it, like looking a tauntaun. And then once it got through, I'd be fine.
Or maybe just pretend it's a local version of haggis. Stuffed sheep.
Stuffed shipments. Sheeps. Sheeps, I see no sheeps.
Well, speaking of Lloyd and work that he has, what's about his shed? He's not answering any questions about his shed.
Apparently it's dry. He said it was dry the other day, and I was fucking outraged. Because if I'd realised it had dried out, I would have gone up and given it another coat. He's waiting for it. There's something he's waiting to do. I can't remember how we got onto the subject of it, but it was something dark side, something complete. It may have been about doing terrain. Yeah, that was it. Well, maybe you don't. A long time ago, Lloyd and Warren did a building a city table terrain vlog, and they did like 1 or 2 parts and never did the third part. Or they did one part and said we'll be back for the second part and never did the second part, something like that. And for years, people have been asking for it.
So
and
a sequel is missing.
Yeah, and I was going, oh fuck, for April Fool's Day, we should have just went part 2 or parts, wherever the next part is that people have been waiting on. Just do that. We still got the old assets for Hobby Lab somewhere, and then just have it, play the intro, play all the rest, and then just go to static for like half an hour as if it hasn't uploaded properly. So I'm saying we'll do this, and then somebody suggested Lloyd should be doing table builds and stuff again, and that got a rant from Lloyd for a while. But then he did finish by going, but obviously if I had the stuff I could in my shed, I could leave it sitting out, which means I could come back to it and do it over a course of weeks, so it could be done. I go, well, you just have to wait in your floor drying. And he went, it is dry. I went, you what? How very dare you, Lloyd? Very dare you. That's not good.
If his shed is dry, he just now needs to add a table and start build Rome. Technically.
I mean, that'd be great. On the other hand, I have seen his CAD designs for where his tables are going, as have other people, because I've just remembered he spoke about them at length, extensively, like a tour of the engineering decks. Going full rimmer on us all.
And that got cut from the weekend, yeah?
No, it was in 2 weekenders. There was 2 XLBSs where we just had to sit there as he was going through his CAD design of railway lights and also, yes.
On his 3D scanned and constructed table.
So he can't do anything yet until he's worked out which one of those designs he goes for, and then orders it. Oh, I'd have just bought a couple of cheap pasting tables from B&Q and fucked them in the middle of the room. Bosh. There's a 6x4 done. Thank me later, lads.
Yeah, Lord.
Why is that not loading? I want to see the football. You can't. Anyway.
Is the internet going extensively?
No, it's the app I use to steal football off the internet, because there's no way I'm paying those cunts that price. Tottenham Hotspurs and Manchester the Cities. You load my event. You go, girl. We'll set you there. Well, turn up. You probably won't be able to hear it, but I'll be able to hear it, and that's the important thing. Shall we have a look at what these cats have been up to?
Yeah, why not? Hello, Grimwolf again. I did mention you? Hello.
Yeah, but he was probably in the chat, but on an advert.
Oh,
I wouldn't have heard him for the first 2 minutes because he was just getting like ball sack and crack wax being advertised to him or whatever it is.
Yeah, Twitch advertisements are getting out of hand. Well, with that again, hello Ralph. Good to see you back again on your project. So,
wow, reading the final boss.
World of Warcraft still going strong. Who would have thunk?
Well, still going. Let's not say strong, but still going.
Well, it still makes him enough of monies to keep running the servers. So
Well, it doesn't, and they wouldn't really care about it. Did you ever see the interview with one of Blizzard's old coders slash programmers slash designers? I don't know which one he was. He was a thing. He was very high up.
Mhm.
And he does live streams all the time, and he was sitting there and he was talking about, somebody was asking about why have they not done X, Y, or Z? Why have they not done StarCraft 3 or something? And he was lead on StarCraft 2, I think it was. Assuming there was a StarCraft 2. Anyway, he was lead on a sequel of something. And him and a big team, spent 3 years working on it. And then before it launched, Blizzard introduced buy in-game promotional items. The very first one of which was the Sparkle Pony, a flying horse.
Horse armor.
it was like a tenner, I think, or maybe £15 for this fucking flying horse for your character. And he went, that Sparkle Pony over the first week brought more money in than StarCraft 2 did, and didn't require a team 3 years work. And at that point he went, there will be no further StarCrafts. We don't give a shit about the stuff. All we want to do now is work out how do we can sell people fake shit for real cash money.
Yeah.
And that's where it's gone ever since. It was 25, was it? I can't remember because I never bought one because I've got standards. Not many standards, and they're fucking low, but I have them.
Yeah. Speaking of other people's standards, hello Crispin, welcome.
Crispin has no standards.
Let's look at other people's stuff. Muldroth, Warhammer Quest Rebuild. I don't think we have been here before, previously? Question mark?
No, you shouldn't have, because it's a relatively recent fellow, I believe. And I generally skip them. But I like coming into this because even though it's 3D printing, it's a cautionary tale about how 3D printing's terrible. So that's always good. Always good to see.
So moral of the story, don't go the way of ones and zeros.
None of that. Break out the bricks, break out the pliers. No, he's putting together his own Whamster stuff via the medium of 3D print. And there's some nice sculpts in there. However, he has run into the problem with resin, which is 3D printed resin is shit and in no way comparable to two-part resins that we currently get if you want to buy a resin miniature. So much so that there's a whole chunk in there about trying to work out why it's brittle, how to compensate for it, ordering new resins to try those in case they're better. And I feel for Muldroth, I really do. But this is an argument I've had with people before about 3D printed resin. And I keep being told, no, it's great. Oh, it's durable. Oh, it's just as good. I go, no. No, but is it though?
Not really. It was.
Dwafford.
What's the name of the guy that was on OTT on the show with the 6-wheel miniature?
Lazy Forger.
He himself said, it's not there yet. And if somebody who owns a living by doing it, what does he know?
He's just a hater who doesn't know anything about 3D printing.
Yeah.
That's what the comments will say. But this is interesting because the designs, like I say, obviously that's based on the Warhammer Blackguard, and they've taken the sort of form and feel of the Blackguard and went with it. And it's not a terrible representation, and especially if you don't have a unit of 30 of them in metal like I do. And there was no reason to go more than 30 because you couldn't field a unit bigger than 30.
Look at the background.
He's got plastic toy versions of the Bot War bots.
A lot of them. A lot of them.
Well, go for it. That's the way of it, isn't it?
And a shelf full of G.I. Joe VHS cassettes. By the looks of it.
G.I. Joe. International Hero.
And even the expensive Unicron model.
Wow. I mean, as Too Much Coffee Man sagely told us many years ago, if you're going to do something, do it to excess. So.
Yeah, that's probably right.
But yeah,
there is a potential solution for him in his resin problems.
is it a final one?
The lads over at what's
Go,
they
pass
called
it now,
again?
you prick. Oh, he's offside, for fuck's sake.
Rogue Hobbies. They have made up a resin that allegedly isn't brittle anymore.
We got one from somebody who said that they're not brittle. I've no idea if they've printed anything with it yet, or if it's just sitting there as an ornament on the shelf, which is entirely possible.
They printing the miniatures and selling them, so you would hear about them being brittle, I guess.
It wouldn't make a difference. People are used to it. As long as it doesn't arrive smashed into shards, people will just go, it's a 3D print. Omelette and eggs. Do a test sriracha sauce. Okay, interesting. But yeah, apart from Maldroth's problems with the 3D printings, there's some nice bits and pieces in there about the actual figures. So his black card, his skelly bobs, and his little rat dudes, which looks all delightful. Obviously, we were here before when he was discussing.
Don't forget the bases.
Are they though?
Well, at least they're square.
They are square. That's true, but it also looks noticeably bigger than 20 mil.
Yeah,
I think that might be one of GW's new ambigulated bases, which I'm not home to. You can have everything.
At least you can rank and flank them properly.
Yes, Sorg. I am paid by metal manufacturers. I get a subsidy to hate on 3D printing. And it's not enough for what I do, really. It's more a vocation than a job. I'd have done it for free, but I'm not going to turn down cash money.
It's a passion project.
Yeah, very much so. Anyway, so if you're interested in following that, if you do the 3D printing, there's some good information, and also you can get an idea of where he's stealing his STLs from. I say stealing, where he's getting his STLs for the specific things from. Because there you go. You might find something you like.
Really?
Oh, it's so fucking hot.
David, welcome. The Games Workshop did have 25 million square bases.
100%, David. And if you can point a single skeleton that was mounted on a 25 mil, I'll fucking concede that. But skeleton infantry, all 20 mils.
Who's next?
Next is
Spring Cleaning Challenge.
More importantly, Kings of War. Sweet, sweet Kings of War. New one.
Half-finished
Half-finished
Oh,
kits.
God. That's a mouthful.
Yeah. Apparently, they've been here before and then have submarined for some considerable time, but have decided to resurface and do Kings of War. So I'm having that quite happily. No, none of you want to win this match. Want Spurs. You're in a chance for a fucking European spot.
Looks like they're almost done painting.
Well, that's older stuff. That's the shit that was sitting on the shelf last year, or I want to say the year before, maybe. I'd have to have a look at his other project, which was being done for like Kings of War / One Page Rules. This one is being done for Kings, but it's specifically halflings, and I think Rift-Forged Orcs are being fielded as well. So here you can see a whole Galvy bucket of little Orklings. So those are 40 mil squares. The equivalent of Snarlings. But
I love the occasional one,
one
lying on his back, just
could
staring
be dead,
at the
could
sky.
be drunk. Yep. Well, you
No,
know
he's
what
not
they say.
dead. He's resting.
What's it? We're all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars. I think is the quote.
He's pretending to have a good time, and when somebody steps on him, he's going to bite them in the ankles.
Jam, 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 jam.
Welcome, James Scott. Thanks for the subscription.
I like the idea of a beard off. The Kyle Pretzel Twinkie from Mantic US. Last time he was talking about coming over, he was doing a live stream with Rob, and they were commentating. And I was chatting away with them, and Rob's going, "Oh, Kyle, if you're over at Jerry's Suppliers, we'll have to do a beard off at Clash of Kings." Because Kyle's got this massive beard that he had braided and stuff. It was fucking amazing. I go, that's terrible. He's also about, I think he's roughly the same size as well. So I'm not sure which one of us is taller. Actually, I do know because I met him and went drinking with him at Historicon. I have fucking no idea. He's tall. We are of a size and beard size. I have more hair than him though, so there, I win. There's the tiebreaker. Anyway, so yes, this one will be interesting to see based on half-finished kits previous one where they were doing stuff going all the way back to the 80s for one-page rules. There were some really nice bits and pieces in there and some cracking old figures that were sort of dug out alongside brand new ones. There was even some ones and zeros. But we'll, forgive them on that one. So I'm looking forward to seeing what gets done with this and how that reprobate puts together a Kings of War army. Specifically, I want to see the halflings. That's not far away.
Looking forward to that, especially if he does off all those little miniatures.
Oh, yeah. My hair will be back. This isn't the shortest my hair's been. It's up and down like a whore's drawers. Every decade, 2 decades, I just decide, fuck it, it's coming off. Then I just spend the next 10 years growing it back again. So, depends how much I can be arsed on any given day of the week.
So David is 6 foot, Crispin is 5'7.5".
Always the half. The half's very important. I had a cousin, they were trying to work out which one of us was taller. And we were standing at a funeral as well, my uncle. And the girls are going, "What size are you?" I'm going, 6'5". And they went to Terence, going, "What size are you?" It's like, 6'3.5". Going, half's very important, isn't it, Terence? Consider the girls are all over 6 as well anyway, just having a good old laugh.
Well, I'm 6 foot spot on as well, so as average as it can be.
Yep, that is average height. There's just an awful lot of people pulling the average down. I don't know why. Anywho, so, I missed. Did your family build a causeway? No, not quite, Jill. But if you're ever at a family event with me, you just draw a line at 6 foot, and anybody at that or above it is family, and anybody lower than that is like friends or
married.
Or married. Yeah, so that's the dividing line. It means it's very difficult to hide.
Jill bites the average in the ankles. Yeah, it's a
very similar Zork. Just shaved a couple of them. So yes,
Denzian.
I missed May the 4th. Well, I didn't. I just wasn't here.
Yeah.
Dedzian did do
a big bunker.
A big bunker / battle report for May the 4th. God bless his cotton socks. We'd seen him obviously working on it for a little while in the past. But an actual battle report, like battle reports, great. This shows where they could hide a couple of... Did he call them legions? I think he did, didn't he? The Emperor find legions in my Imperial Guard on the planet's surface in that tiny little bunker. So this is where they all were. There's a lot more bunker than you see in the film. Makes perfect sense, though.
Also, the bunker in the movie was the back entrance to the whole facility.
Complex.
So it could be much larger.
Yes.
Taurus was 6'2" and is now shrinking.
That's old age for you. That's why I hang by my ankles every night, just to stretch myself to make sure that doesn't happen. I'm sure it will do well. But once again, Denzian knocked it out of the park with not just the actual build of the whole thing, which is insane. But added to that, all the minis and the battle report just goes to show what you can do if you got more time than sense.
If you put some dedication in it.
Oh, a commitment. You should be committed. That type of thing. And the battle report obviously isn't just the bunker, by the way. It goes out and about through the environs of the forest moon of Endor.
Yeah, that's a proper battle report. A very long table and some special troops going around killing murder teddies.
How can you tell they're special? To take a yellow speeder bike to the plane?
Because they've got black armor and red markings.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Inferno Squad.
Just checking.
Oh, look, he even has a proper hat.
Yes, he does. But more disappointing is, can you just read that out for the kids at home? What does it say below that?
Some of the participants hadn't even seen Return of the Jedi. Just makes me feel even older on my birthday.
It wouldn't make me feel old. It would make me feel furious. And we wouldn't be playing the game until everybody had sat down and watched it, and I would go and get the Harambe version.
That would be mandatory to watch prior to gaming. How can you appreciate the whole setup if you haven't seen the movie?
How can you appreciate life if you haven't seen the movie? I'd just like to quote, right, from How I Met Your Mother, when Marshall and Ted, have you met Ted? We're discussing Ted's new girlfriend. She's great, and she hasn't seen Star Wars. And Marshall went, she hasn't seen Star Wars. The only people who haven't seen Star Wars are the people who were in Star Wars, and that's because they lived the Star Wars. They lived it, Ted. How has she not seen Star Wars? And I'm with Marshall on this.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that there's people out there not having seen the Star Wars.
Oh, it's an outrage. It's an outrage.
Almost something for...
Noise! Deceptions! Every day, more...
Ran a stream of all 12 films over the 4th and 5th. Oh, that would have been a way to do it. It's like the... when Revenge of the Sith came out, we watched Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, then the only Clone Wars cartoons there are, Genndy Tartakovsky's Season 1 and Season 2. Then we went to the midnight showing of 3, and then we went back to my house to watch 4, 5, and 6. And that is how we watched Revenge of the Sith. It's only right and proper that you do it that way. Especially because those Clone Wars cartoons are fucking amazing.
I do remember at one time we did a night viewing over a weekend when were only the prequels and the original.
Yeah.
And that was a long day.
Yeah, it is. It would be. Well, you're looking at 2 hours per film plus, I think it's like 2:30 for the 2 seasons of Clone Wars, and then 4 more films after that, 2 hours a pop. So, it must be in the guts of 16 hours.
It's
good. It's good times.
For sure.
Yeah. And we were drinking. We were fucking hammered, stoned to piss as well. Jesus. Taxi for Whitey, please. Anyway, but yes. So anybody who wants to see the pure sex that is
Denzi's bunker,
and Endor, including all his Endor trees. You've not even got down to the Endor trees, have you?
We were down.
That's all right then. Okay, I wasn't really paying attention here because there was a big diving tackle from Benton Kerr in there, and I thought he was going to take that fucker's leg off, and that would have been great. But not to be. Not to be. Anyway, so yes, so much to see. We've not even scratched the surface. But gorgeous, gorgeous pictures. And because, obviously, after May the 4th, you have Revenge of the Sith.
Hazy Boy did a drinking game for episode 4. I got C-3PO. He's the only one to talk for the first 20 minutes. Hammered.
Oh, that's true. Oh,
Well, fate of the dice can be very cruel.
never tell
See,
me the
there's
odds.
Renegades by Mr.
Grimwolf.
Ralph Grimwolf
Yes.
in the audience
Yes.
tonight with us.
Well, you say that, but he's currently off standing in the fire, which is pretty much how raids go. So this is, he's done this before for another campaign he was running where he's built a system. And by system, I mean a star system, not a game system. So he's using the West End Star Wars D6 and has been putting together the Korak sector in his own little galaxy guidebook. I've got several real galaxy guides up there for West End's D6 system. It's great. Like God intended. Anyway. So yes, I really like the work he puts into these. Just not just the detail in the construction of it, but then the whole presentation as well. So he's using a ton of AI art, which obviously makes him worse than Hitler. But it's true, it's fine. Don't worry, artists don't need food. They can pack beans on shelves in Waitrose or something. But based on prior experience, if you're interested in RPGs or if you're interested in Star Wars, I imagine this is just scratching the surface of what he's planning to put into this in the long run. And if you haven't seen his previous Star Wars, I think it was called Star Wars Galaxies, actually. It's a fucking amazingly big project. Stuff like every system is, here's the system, here's your main planets, here's resources and exports and aliens in those planets. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, how'd you miss that? You can't. So yeah, there's some cracking stuff in here. I do appreciate the fact as well that he went in and went, I want this to be black and white. AI, make me West End Games artwork. You can't. And then the AI, which is just 50 Chinese children under the age of 11, desperately started programming like fuck and drawing.
Was that what you call it? Those kinds of prompts he's giving that actually could trigger somebody going, yeah, let's wake up the original artist. He's somewhere in the back.
Wouldn't surprise me. You've made it hidden. So this is the problem, Grim. Nothing is hidden from me. So whenever I go, I want to see something, I just go and fucking see it. But hidden for the other kids, who, let's face it, aren't as important as me. So that's fine.
Or the rabble.
Rabble.
Gong.
Gonk.
Gong.
Gonk. Gonk, a Star Wars story.
I want that. I don't know if you've seen that. Disney does a Star Wars Lego TV series.
No, I haven't seen it. Is it on Disney?
I guess as much.
Yeah, that'll be why then.
And they now do a sort of like Star Trek Mirror Universe thing.
Right.
And guess who's a Sith Lord in that universe?
Gonk?
Nah.
Jar Jar?
Yes! Jar Jar being Sith Lord is canon.
That's kind of frightening in many respects. But in other respects, yeah.
And the trailer, you need to look that up after the show, is actually hilarious when everything starts to change and X-Wing TIE fighters fly across the screen and then Jar Jar Binks comes down the stairs of his ship with glowing red eyes, being very menacing. Misa, did you?
Oh, I mean, that'd be even worse than getting killed up by the Emperor. You're not being killed by a geriatric old lunatic. You're being killed by a fucking Gungan.
Yeah, that's...
Oh my god. It's pure Outlaws.
I at first I thought that was just some kind of weird fan fiction, but no, that's an actual trailer.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
So, where do we...
Something. What is Outlaws?
It's a video game.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry. I
That,
seen a
that's
couple of people talking about ordering it. I was like, I have no idea what this is. Is this
yeah,
something I need?
that's the music Ralph put in his project is from that video game.
Yeah. So it says that. Yeah. Weirdly, I didn't even bother reading that bit. I just assumed it said Star Wars. Hey, you know. It's how
Oh,
it goes.
sandy blood,
Yes.
blood on the
This
sands.
is-
Well, that's a creative. I gotta give it to him. That's name for user and project. I'm all for it.
Yep. Can't argue it. I mean, if you are planning on doing a project about a game you're writing, don't bury the lead. Don't hide your lamp under a bushel. Whatever the fuck that
make
means.
it front center everything so people can find it.
So
Somebody's building Rome.
somebody's building parts of provincial Roman Empire specifically to do the gladiatorial combat based on the historical matchups. So obviously there was like 13 different gladiator types in Rome, and they were all paired in some way. You know, your legionnaire against your Thracian and shit like that. Your Myrmidons, and you know, so there was always a theme: heavily armored, slow, ponderous, going against somebody lightly armored, fast, or you know, that sort of thing. So even the Romans knew that asymmetric matchups was more interesting than just giving everybody the same points values and letting them max out on fucking armor save. So I did jam all the time, but he keeps ignoring me. But fucking in front of him you can't, not behind him. So yes,
Hello,
so
Nick.
Blood in the Sand has been then putting it together. Very much so, Damon Sub, yeah. This arena-based game that plays out in a relatively small area, so it's like 9 by 11. I think he says obviously 1-inch type hexes. The rest of the arena is not required, but also at the same time very required. I feel if all you've got is a tiny little hex circle, put the effort in. Even just get one of the Sarissa half. They do one like that anyway. Just fucking stick it in there.
Oh, see, I was just going to complain that he doesn't show how he made the
yeah.
the export, but he does.
Oh no, he does.
Which is nice.
Yeah. Oh, you get more of it where it shows you like drilling it in and then painting it up, and even going to the hassle of only putting the sand on the upper parts of the hexes so as not to lose the lines.
Yeah.
Which is very clever and also time consuming and tedious.
It is.
If you're going to do that again, mate, one of those tiny little decorator rulers and just roll it across the top, or a print roller that's solid so it can't. And then anyway, just saying. But yeah, so little bit of build. It does start by explaining what Blood in the Sands is, how it's going to sort of break down, and the classes that are playing. He has a Facebook link as well for people who are on the face page if people want to find out more about the Blood on the Sands.
Here's a pretty good reason why you don't need just the board game, which looks a bit boring, but you need a proper board
You
game.
missed, you gypsy bastard. What? Yes. Whatever you just said, yes.
I said here's
a good
a
reason
very
not
good
to have it on
representation for why just a playing board 9 by 11 is a bit boring, but the stadium actually pulls the attention.
Add so much. It draws people in. But yeah, the face page has a bit about the ongoing stuff. He's in Australia, so if anybody from Australia is watching this and wants to go and have a look at his face page, it's got contact details on it, and then maybe somebody who may run a YouTube channel in Australia could go ahead and contact him and have a chat with him if he hasn't already done so. Throwing it out there. Could be anyone. Could be anyone at all.
Yeah. Not mentioning any names.
No, just anybody happens to be in that neck of the woods. You do you. But I'm fascinated to see where it goes, because it's a mixture of dice and cards. So 6 different sort of classes matching up against each other. There's good information in the project. There's more on the face page. So hopefully some of that will get fucked across into the project at some stage. But yeah, I like it. I'm curious to see where it's going to go. Because it looks a bit interesting. Anyway.
Development for over 10 years. That's
Yeah.
should be fine by now.
You know, it's one of those things. You may polish it too far. You'd like it because it's a bit BattleTech, bit classic BattleTech. You get a gladiator card with
Stats.
health points. No, you know, like that you would carve off the armor on your. So you've got little dots in like torso and head and arms and stuff. And when one gets fucked, they can't use that anymore. So deal with that shield. Just stab them in the nads.
Yeah, nice. I think I need to follow this one.
I would. Yes. Yeah, because it's not like I'll keep an eye on it or anything. 409 fucking updates.
Oh, God.
On projects. It's because I wasn't here for fucking 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever amount of weeks it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've just fucking split. I had that down to 2 pages. It's fucking up to 17. It was more than that until I went through today and fucking carved a few of those pages out. Anyway, I digress. Blood in the Sands. Have a look.
Give it a go.
Start tearing paper if they lose a limb. You could do. I mean, you know. Nobody's saying you can't. How about fuck off? I don't want to see a Sainsbury's advert. I didn't want to see a Sainsbury's advert when I worked for them. I don't want to see one now. 15 minutes before that kicks off again. Anyway, I thought we'd have a look at some Tiny Fighting Men's.
Very tiny fighting men's.
Very tiny fighting men's.
War Master by Scribs. Oh, these are very tiny.
These are 10 mil. Scribs has got Chaos for War Master. I remember saying or talking or asking about it, and somebody in the house would have #Misters going, yeah, I've got some of those. Do you want them? I was like, holy shit balls. Because, I mean, if you want these, you have to go into Fleabay. And if you go into Fleabay, they are not fucking cheap. Even to get like a unit, get a blister pack, they are a fucking fortune. So not only has he managed to get his hand on them. Oh yeah, they are so fucking cute. He's also, you know, put the time and effort into 10 mil compared to the rest of humanity who could not be arsed with doing that. That was you, Dave. Good man yourself. Look at that. It's like
Chinese.
A resurrection. Yeah.
I want to hug them. I want to give them a cuddle.
Give the tiny corn murder boys a cuddle. No, thank you. I don't want to be murdered in my bed. Thank you. Let you know next week.
Serve them a proper serving of corn flakes. Wow. That joke is as old as the faction, isn't it?
Oh, I think that's older, actually, to be fair.
That should have been part of the promotional material. Cornflakes.
You know what I heard recently? Actually, I'll tell you that in a minute. Do you know cornflakes was originally made as an anti-masturbatory aid?
Yes, I've seen that movie.
It's in a movie.
Yeah,
Why the fuck's it in a movie?
There's a movie. I'm not quite sure about the plot again, but it sidetracks partially into the psychiatric ward where Mr. Cullux is doing his experiments.
Oh, okay. I'm completely unaware of that.
It's some kind of love story, if I remember correctly.
Okay, that all makes sense. Anyway, so that's that. That isn't what I wanted to say though.
Oh look, he's got a laser sword.
He has a laser sword. He's had a sword that's been replaced because they all. You should see my elves. The amount of fuckers that have lost the top of a spear, and their spears are thin as piss. Where were we? Cornflakes, hug, 10 mil. Someone brought a monkey.
About cornflakes advertisements.
Because a monkey knocked over the salad bar. No, completely gone. Whatever the fuck I was going to say must have been a lie. What
wasn't very important? That's what my mother always says.
Well, my mother always used to say, if you can't remember, it must have been a lie.
That's very rude.
It's great, considering, you know, I'm not saying she has dementia these days, but she starts a sentence and can't get to the end of it most of the time. It's great. Oh, that must have been a lie, then, brother.
Yeah, things come back to haunt you.
Yes. The only downside is she can't remember that they're coming back to haunt her, so it spoils my fun. So
How
why
much
did you start hitting your mantras? Nice. Master Broderick, Hazy Boy. It was something about Master Broderick and Hazy Boy. Was that it? Oh, it could have been.
Just look at these tinies.
Yeah, the Marauder. The Marauder's a Marauder horse. Really cute as well for it as well. Oh, shit balls.
No socks on any of the horses.
No, you can play that as a comment. Once people are in there clicking the like buttons, just go, I've only given you idea and tutoring and not skill, because the horses are all very consistent. No blazes, no stockings. I feel you're not really putting the effort in. Scribs. Should say that. Hi, Scribs. Hi.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Aren't we just a lovely bunch again today?
I'm always a lovely bunch. Guess hounds. But yeah, terrific set of old miniatures. And very nice to see them painted. I'm assuming Dave, in many respects, is like myself, is the collected dust for fucking ever. And it's just nice to see the fuckers with paint on them and ready for the table.
Yeah, and with a nice backdrop from that book.
John Hodgson's big book of backdrops.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's that because it looks very similar.
They're a small fortune before you paint them, Jam. If you find a blister of War Master for less than £15, that's generally a good day. And in some cases, they're considerably more for one unit at a time. So add a really nice paint job on there, albeit one without detail on the horses. And all of a sudden, you're probably doubling the price, whatever people are charging these days for Wamster.
Yeah, I'm just doing a quick looky at eBay. It's
At eBay.
30 euros for undead bone throwers and undead bone giant.
Yep. Which were like £3 for the bone giant, maybe when it came out, and a £5 for the regiment, something like that, or maybe £5 and £4.
Undead chariot, 45 euros.
Yeah. Some things that people didn't buy at the time, for whatever reason, have become prohibitively expensive.
Oh, look here. There's a bone
Sphinx
thrower.
Oh.
So a ballista with scallywobs.
Yeah.
Was 16 Deutschmarks. That was at the time, I'm going to say, £6 to £8.
Yeah, I mean that
Roughly.
one sounds fucking reasonable, all things considered.
It's 15 euros, which is not too much.
Yeah. I've seen worse. GW have had lower inflation than that, for fuck's sake. But yeah, really nicely done. Also some interesting bits where he goes through basing and does some test bases with a variety of pumices on them. So you can see how GW and Vallejo and stuff like that compare, and also colors, which again means you're not having to buy multiple tubs of texture paste to see which one you want. You could just let somebody else spend the money and then do the heavy lifting for you. So that's all good.
And the paint job is simple but very effective.
Oh yeah, the Swedish Chaos Marauders coming your way, all blue and yellow, like the fucking St. Ivel man.
And for some odd reason, I'm hearing Manowar in the background.
Yeah, it's probably because all their hair is blowing in the wind. Often, so there's a lot of blowing, windy hair peoples.
Manowar.
But yeah, it is. It's really nice to see that. have to let him away with the spring clean bit, even though technically it's not his spring clean. He has resurrected Dave's previous project. I'm going to sneeze.
So Dave is going to win the prize. Dave is getting the prize for that project then.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, could I give a golden button to Dave this week? Ben's not around. How long would it take for people to work out what I've done? Because nobody on the show pays attention to me. I just start talking. They all go to sleep for a while until they can talk about trains or PlayStations or whatever it is they talk about, whatever they're avoiding talking about, tiny fighting men's. Anyway. So, yes. Moving on.
We would notice and we would have a ball. Chaos Kniggets.
Oh, I imagine GW at some point will, once they get bored with the old world. Here's the big question for people in the audience. Will every army be released for the old world before GW get bored with it?
Nope.
Will somebody be patiently waiting for their... Let's have a quick look at my shelf. Demons of Chaos, maybe? I don't know. Wood Elves? Something dark side. Will they be waiting on Beastmen to get a refresh?
Chaos Dwarves will never come.
Chaos Dwarves were, which is really annoying because Tamarkan, which was the plan for the End Times by Rick Priestley, that GW then went, yeah, you can fuck off, mate. So they only ever did 1 out of the 4 books. Had the best Chaos Dwarves GW had ever done background-wise and style-wise. And then it went nowhere. And then years later, GW went, remember that guy Priestley who was going to do that End Times thing? We should do that, but in a very shit way. And then fuck everybody off. Pricks. Absolute pricks.
Yeah, scripts, nicely done stuff.
Oh, Dogs of War will never come back. That's it, David. Somebody will be waiting patiently for Dogs of War to be re-released. All their friends will have their armies. They'll get a second edition. There still won't be any sign of Dogs of War. And then they'll just go, we're not going anywhere with this. Let's end the game. So, more Tiny Fighting Men's, but this time the Tiny Fighting Men's are actually in scale for 28mm.
And they're also very free and very blue. And can I just say, I love the attention to detail with the tobacco tin.
Yes, you can. And I'll go one step further. Jill, consider that nicked because she has put in the artwork further down that I can just go straight in there and steal, which is just terrific. Absolutely terrific.
It won't help if you put your project on private because Jerry can still go in and see it.
Yes. So yeah, anybody who's unaware of the Wee Free Men from Terry Pratchett's Witches books, technically Tiffany Aching, but I include her with the Witches. They're tiny 6 to 8 inch tall little pixies, only it's spelt pict, like the people who live in and around the Brochs. So the pixies are crazy Scottish bastards. And these are being ran as goblins alongside a big wee witch for Tiffany for Kings of War. And there you can see them mostly rustling through the heather and grass. You can't see them until they arrive, and then they will fuck you up because they are bastards.
They will go up your leg and bite you in the neck, hit you on the head.
Yeah,
The
they are
thing
ginger
I like-
smurfs.
The thing I like the most about We Free Men is that they are thinking, yeah, we are already dead. This is heaven.
Yeah, everything we do here is great because this is a gift to us. Wherever we want to fight, we can fight. Wherever we want to steal, we can steal. We want to drink stuff, we'll drink stuff because we're all dead. This is party land.
Yeah,
so they do that.
And if one dies, he just goes back to the normal world. He's reborn, and so there's no need to be sad about that.
Yeah, don't have to worry about that. He'll be back eventually. The other thing is amusing, which is while they are blue, they aren't Smurf-like. They are human-y, pinky skinned, but they're so heavily tattooed that they'd appear blue because they're just completely painted in blue tattoos. Which, if you actually zoom right in, you'll see Jill has done that. She actually started with just regular flesh tone And then just very gradually added more and more layers of blue to mask it. So that's good.
Also, the attention to detail with the bases, with the sunken-in shepherd's hut wheels.
Yes.
Though, if I remember correctly, didn't the book say the wheels were metal casts? Cast metal?
Yes. These
are wood.
They are. If you want to go ahead and find some metal wheels and send them to Jill,
yeah,
I'm sure. I'm sure what she won't do is tear that apart to replace that one piece just for you, Sonny Jimbo. Yes, Jill. You tell him.
Well, actually, if I remember correctly, second edition Warhammer 40k Grot cannons had metal wheels that almost would work.
Excellent. And have you got those? Have you? You got
yeah,
4 of them?
They're attached to my zap gun.
Just break those off, fire them in the post. I'll send you some plastic wooden wheels to replace them with. Anyway, it might not be one of the shepherd's hut wheels. It could just be a wagon wheel in the middle of fuck nowhere. That to run it past.
If those were the shepherd's hut, then there would be the oven as well, if I remember the book correctly.
And then there's even things like, because obviously Kings uses footprint bases, so the big base is built up, and then seeing inside a feegle, I'm going to call it a feegle hole. I know they were in a barrow at one point, but they're not barrows per se.
Wasn't it a king's burial mound they lived in?
Yeah, which is a barrow. But
okay.
But it's really nice to see inside and to see all of the shit they had in there, especially because presumably that was not the king's burial mound at wherever the fuck they were at, because that's whenever they were in Lancre for Carpe Jugulum. Yes, that was Carpe Jugulum. When they were kicking around with Tiffany, they were just in some sort of feegle hole somewhere. Wagon wheels.
We have too many tall nettles in Scotland for short men to be running around naked.
The nails wouldn't stop them, Nick. Would not stop them at all. I like the shiny coins.
I think the most favorite part of that book series is when the sheep are getting brought back, running backwards.
Running backwards, yes.
Looking all confused.
Why, as I'm moving in this direction, la 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 la.
Yeah, but this is
Jesus, they hate.
So much attention to detail. It's just.
Hate.
You know what you need, Jerry?
An ice lolly, but I can't go downstairs.
Brown lemonade.
No.
Yes.
Why the fuck would I do that?
For the brown lemonade.
To be fair, I mean, obviously, Northern Ireland does have brown lemonade. We're fucking famous for it. I remember people from Great Britain coming over and getting very confused that we had brown lemonade, and trying to work out why. Why is your lemonade brown?
Reasons best not answered.
Yeah, that's the way of it.
Yeah, very much looking forward to where this is going to go. And how it will end up.
I can't wait to see Tiff as well, because that's going to be good.
Jill, do you have the actual Tiffany miniature? For
yes, I'm pretty sure it's in the project.
I just didn't see it. Did I just scroll it past?
Why would you be terrified of Tiff? Don't be terrified of her.
I'm terrified? Why? Tiff is a nice person. As long as she doesn't arm herself with a pan.
She has a pan.
I can't see the miniature, so I'm guessing...
I'm positive I've seen it. Or I'm really starting to freak the fuck out.
I think it's the latter in this case, because there's no... Jill, please tell us, do you have a model for...
I'm 100%, I'm fucking telling you. I've seen it. I've seen
in her
Jill
project
going, here's Tiffany, she is going to be my witch.
Oh, it was in one of her last year's projects. So So you're not going insane. It's just not in this one.
Oh,
Yeah, very much. Looking forward to.
I should have brought ice lollies. Fucking hell.
Well, best then to press on to get through all this, and so you can have a lie down
Lie down.
on
You
ice.
try to kill me. Is
Yes.
that what you're trying to do?
Of
Kill
course.
me with the lie downs. It's how the heat gets you, you know.
Oh, 200 hours with hairy brains. So he's building stuff?
Building stuff. It's not a big build, but he is working on 0 to 100 hours. I thought this is quite nice because I've done that recently. Some people may even recognize it from that time when I was on the telly doing it. Pardon me. So there's a bit of work on the British and Germans. I said Germans, including what they've used for color schemes. And then he has a build of the Normandy printed, I should say, stuff from MicroArts. It's nice to see somebody actually getting in and using one of those. Because obviously the promotional material looks great. I'd love to see one up close. MicroArts were very thankful that they won, put the little thing that they won on all their fucking boxes. Didn't offer to send it out to test. Didn't do that. Said some to other people on the YouTubes. Seen a lot of fuckers unboxing them. Thinking, yeah, they didn't give you an award, did they? Can't. And you slooped off without paying your bill whenever you stopped being partners. Terrible bastards. I should throw things at their heads. I won't, though.
Good idea,
I'm too nice. Tatty bye. Are you going because it's too hot? I appreciate that, mate.
Didn't I'm not sure. Was it MicroArt or another one who very late in 2023 mentioned, "Yeah, we won in 2022."
I have no idea.
Might have been MicroArt. I just remembered because it was so funny because it was the year after they got the award, that very late in that year.
They was like, oh, hang on a minute, we could stick this on things. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
But getting a chance to see it really up close, because those pictures are ambigulatable, like what Lloyd would love, and it really shows the texturing on them beautifully well. I mean,
not bad looking.
it's that's a bit rough on it, mate. They're really fucking nice. If I had the room / time, I would certainly consider this for my World War II 28mm stuff, especially the fact that all deconstructs into a ruined version as well. It's just so fucking good. So anybody who's been wondering about it, there's some nice pictures up close and fucking personal, and somebody you can hassle and go, what's it like on the inside? Can you take it apart?
What do you mean about
what's going on here?
It's deconstructing into a ruined version, so you can take bits apart and it still looks
So,
like...
so obviously the roof comes off, but the base, right?
Yes.
It's like a nesting doll. So the church sits over the base. If you take the church walls off, inside are ruined versions of the walls. So you just have like a ruined. You can like take the intact exterior off, and depending on how you set your board up, you could set some of the intact exteriors, so because it works for the buildings as well. So you could have your houses that are intact and then just leave the wall ruined sections further out of town, as if those areas have already been shelled and bombed, thus increasing the amount of table coverage with your terrain. It's a really good system.
So you can either spread the buildings to have more money per square feet on your
Yes.
table, or you can be an immersive gamer and destroy buildings.
And destroy it as it goes. Yep. Either of
that's
these
always
is
fun.
perfectly doable.
Yeah. Right.
City have scored, by the way, the pricks.
This is nice.
Fuck's sake, Tottenham, you useless bastards.
Ewok Kebab wants to get rid of all his MDF. Why is that, Ewok?
Is he worried about the fire hazard?
Don't you like
You can
the
replace it
smell
all
of
with resin.
burned wood?
Lovely, lovely resin. You're just going to have nothing but resin from Fugu. Fugu. Who just did a Kickstarter there recently, and it wasn't for Brock.
Isn't it? I think it's still going today. Is it?
Oh God, no! They collected my pledge yesterday.
Oh, okay. Then it's gone.
It is. It's very much gone. The last one that he kickstarted, the herringbone rune stuff, it gone on the website today. So maybe you've seen that.
Yeah, I was aware of the ongoing Kickstarter. For some reason, I thought it would be still going today. So maybe I'm just.
Oh,
I've
you're
been
old.
sick the past 4 days, so.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. There's a lot of that going about. It's a balls.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. Anyway, did you go down and have a look at the miniatures, or did we just stop at the building? I can't remember.
I was down at the miniatures. And
Okay,
at
well,
the paint shops for the
I'll
Germans.
allow it. I'll allow it. I shall allow it. They look quite decent, despite he's using something that isn't like correct colours from a correct colour person.
I'm pretty sure he used the correct colors, and it's just the color correction on the photography is off. Color calibration. Oh, Immocumab wants to replace it with FDM.
Ugh.
My thoughts exactly.
Oh, why would you? Oh, why would? Oh my God! Oh, I feel
Sick.
it's all kind of in my
Quick,
Jeebus.
another project.
Sweet zombie Jesus, save us. FDM sounds a bit like shit.
Painting border reverse.
Yep. By Lee McKenna. That's probably not his name. I think it might actually be Mackay. I think we've been through this one before with the previous project of his. Anyway, regardless.
This
Lee
feels
Mac.
familiar.
Yeah. In fact, we have, because you'll see that previous project further down. It's been working on border reaver stuff from Flags of War. So this is another attempt to get the border reavers painted.
He has a cunning plan.
He does, to get them all ready and onto Le table pot to do some border reavering. So there are, as you can see, things like the reavers and then assorted bastards. So
Bastards.
Percy and
Bastard.
farmers and children. And there's Peel Tower, which he did as a project last year for, might have been Trainfest, might have been something else, where he's basing it on an actual ruined border reader period tower, watchtower in his locale. He went out and took pictures. So there's a project somewhere that has photographs of the ruins and then the work on how this was being built up. So it's great to see that fucking built, because it looks top notch. Not all scratch built like what he should do. He's used some of those ones and zeros to add detail, but I'll forgive him because most of it was like foam core and polystyrene and bits of old jars and stuff.
That's some giant rats there waiting for something.
They are, and you should stay well fucking clear of them. They'll have you, laddie. They'll have you, boy. These big fucking rats. I also like the fact that he's painting border reavers and their wee tune. It's a wee tune there. So I appreciate that. Like when some of my friends type fuck as F-O-O-K just for me. Fuck. Fuck off. But yeah. So working away on a bit of terrain and working away on the miniatures as well to accompany it. Obviously doing a sterling job for the Silver Bayonet as well, which is, grand, I suppose. But it's the reavering is what I'm keen to see, especially with the upcoming, there's Flashheart as well, woof, the upcoming Gallow Glass, because he did say he was going to do the Gallow Glass. And when you do the Gallow Glass, Lee Mac, because I'm assuming you're listening to me, the McCabe's were Gallow Glass, just thrown out there. green and white, a nice, like a not an olive but not an apple green, a nice decent medium to medium dark green color, white, and if you want the relief, it's a white river with 3 white salmon. I say white, obviously painted white, but there'd be silver if it was heraldry. It's all argent. So yeah, I whenever you do your Galglass, do them as McCabe's or I'll fucking cut you. Just that. That's what I wanted to say here. I do have the Galglass myself because I backed that Kickstarter, but obviously mine aren't in any way, shape or form painted or indeed cleaned up and out of the box. But you know, I can dream. Look at them.
You can live your hobby through the means of other people.
I live vicariously through the project system. It's why I fucking follow so many of them. It's all good and hood. It's all good and hood. But yeah, it's so nice to see not just Flags of War's Border Reavers, because I think it's a really good game, and I should pull the finger out, paint the fuckers, and then do some on camera. But the rubber spoon bend.
Maybe you could go.
The completion
on,
of the Peel Tower is where it's at.
Maybe you could go on the OTT forum section for
Yes.
Cogs only and do a poll on. I have these 3 things. Which one would you like to see on camera?
Yeah, could do that. Not saying I will.
No.
Or
bros.
even if I do it, that I'd even listen to the result, because somebody might say something that isn't Rome, and then I wouldn't be able to do Rome. And by me, I mean
Rome. Yes.
Lloyd. Yeah.
Yes, but in green.
He's getting very annoyed by that. I know what the funniest thing is. I don't know where it came from. In the hole. Oh! Did you at least injure the keeper? I think he did. I failed to score, but I fucked him, so that's good. No Brock, unfortunately. You can't have everything. But then I don't think Brocks were really a focus of border reaving, not being in the borders so much. So you can't have everything. But yeah, the Rome thing seemed to have happened, I think, when I was off for a week. Because Warren came back and Warren started talking about getting Lloyd to build Rome massively. So clearly he'd seen somebody talking about it somewhere. And I know we've been doing it on and off for a while now, but it's not like it had been a constant thing that I was mentioning recently. So whichever one of you fuckers did it.
One episode on the weekend where it actually got exploded. And it just went on in the comments, and then people started running with it, and people doing polls like, option 1, Lloyd builds Rome, full stop.
But I seen that, but before that week, because it was Warren who started that. Before we started filming, Warren was going blah blah blah, Lloyd should build Rome. I'm thinking, I can't remember the last time Warren was in a conversation where that was mentioned as even being a thing. So somebody somewhere must have talked about that for Warren to have picked up on it and then decide he's just going to rib the shit out of Lloyd about doing it in a whole episode. So it's really weird.
Wow. I know.
You can't book him for that. It was a 50-50 ball. Fuck him. You're booking him.
I know for a fact that I've tagged Lloyd with every occasion I can find on Facebook and OTT when Rome is mentioned.
Yeah. It's
So
possible
maybe Warren
Warren's
just seen that, or Lloyd even himself has complained to people that they are talking about Rome.
He did, but that was after. This is post being currently berated and barracked for not building it. So it's good. It's good times. Anyway, so yes, lean me back. Was it when he got his
Balearics out?
But that was last year. Yeah, because it was last year when he was on holiday with his Balearics.
Yeah, showing people his tiny fighting man.
Yeah. Getting all up in that grill. Look at that guy. Look at him with his tartany kilt. Then a doctor with a bag full of stuff.
Some appendages.
Appendages. Anyway, time will tell. Well, don't fucking. He just got kicked fuck's sake. It's not like he needs life-saving surgery. Jesus, there's so many of them around him. Dry your eyes, you fucking child.
So, going back to Rio Morpork by Bob.
Bob. It's the long-form version of Kate. Don't think so. Toros, we may have done. Anyway, Bob is going a bit westerny, as you may or may not have guessed from the Rio attachment on his more porkiness. So, currently it's tied to Dead Man's Hand. May or may not be in the long run. Who can say for certain? Maybe after he sees the Wily Games Fistful of Lead video, which I think is due next week, he may decide to shift that entirely. But we have, we have the setup for Rio Morpork, his wildy westy town. It contains wildy westy things, some of which may be a bit more steam and or punk than true wildy west.
OTT County.
Yep.
Kevin's County. Rio Morpork.
So, you know, at least you know where you are when you're playing the campaign. You know, and you know you're not in Marlborough. This is Marlborough country, because nobody there speaks with a really bass voice from years of constant smoking.
They still have a voice at all.
Yeah, Toros. That is the Callistra Hex terrain, which, by the way, they bought the unpainted version and painted and flocked it. And I believe Bob said to me, if they had the time to go back and do that again, they would have just paid the extra for the flock version. So, yeah. There you go. Just so you know, if you're ever looking at going, oh, it's so much cheaper to get the plastic. Yeah, there's a reason. I love Bob's naming conventions as well on his figures, of which there are
Ron Chisel.
many of them. So you've got like your one-armed Andy and No Taste Tom, Walrus with the massive fucking mutton chops, and
Red Rob, Harry, Ramrod.
Yeah. And they're all just living their best life in the Old West. In some games they may be villains, in other games they may be heroes, in other games they may be victims. You can never tell, especially with the way Bob tends to play, where they will go full fucking narrative on stuff, if needs be.
Mr. Sudden Death.
They do go narrative and they're not afraid to use it.
Yeah, that's some creative naming schemes there.
I guess probably, Jam, if you're buying so much of the Hex stuff that you'll see the savings add up after multiple, because I'm trying to remember, you can buy them as like a full table, but you can also buy like packs, and each pack is like 3 or 4 of their little Hex sections. So probably covers about a 2-foot square type of thing. But anyway, I digress. So yes, the campaign, the origin, and the people that are kicking around is all explained in there. You get to meet all of the lovely people who are involved. Fuck, he didn't even contact your face. Why the fuck were you on the ground for 5 minutes? He should have been booked for fucking diving. Get off, you prick. Where were we? Running Rabbit? Oh yes, the delightful little campaign type peoples.
Agent Elmer Fudd. Shh, we're hunting wabbits.
And a whole host of Mexicans or Mexicants, or in one noticeable instance, just a cant.
Oh god, Agent O. Orange.
Yes. Agent Orange. Of the Kerry Oranges, obviously.
What's the one in the background? I can't tell.
Which one?
Teller? Fortune teller?
Probably.
Agent...
I imagine these predate Penn and Teller, so it's not going to be that.
Agent W Duo. Agent Orange. Ah! I hate you.
Also, can we point out just how many fuckers have got pinstripe suits and trousers? By the way, Bob,
Yeah.
which is a level of fucking stripery that I wouldn't bother my backside with. So fair fucks to you, son. You do you.
Oh God, how many more are there?
Oh, there's loads.
White Note Burp.
th-
Dog
this
Day
is-
Off.
I don't know if he's
Burp.
I don't know if he's listed this as a spring cleany type thing, or if this is just a I'm doing this because we've been talking about Dead Man's Hand for so long recently. Yeah, it's spring clean. So this is a whole this is his current set of miniatures and town that will be ranging out on the Dead Man's Hand campaign.
Shanghai Dave.
Time to come. Well, you know, he's just missing a samurai. If he had a samurai, he'd be sorted. I should rewatch Red Sun. It's a cracking film. If you ever want to see Charles Bronson and a samurai take on a Western gang of outlaws, it's a good way to do it.
Yeah, that's it. It's a grand project, Mr. Bob Cocaine.
That's it. What box covers 3x4? I knew you needed multiple boxes to do a 6x4 table. I did remember that. Back of the net. Oh, your shit. Yes. No. Your balls. How you mess, you fuck. Where were we?
We were just about to go to the next project.
A next project, you say. Bye, Bob.
Bye bye. And
Oh, my
hello.
God. That almost went through his legs. Oh, you unlucky fucker.
Oh look, miniatures that go the house.
Yes.
Toros. Let
Toros
the
is
twanging begin.
Copying me by getting Soldiers of Rome. He's not copying me on the grounds that he's got his armies and he's already based most of them. So in that respect, he's ahead of the game. But I had my copy of the rules first. So there you go. So this is based on the WoW Fun. 18, I'm assuming they're the WoW Fun 18s. I know they do a couple of different scales for some of these things, but I believe they're the 18s. And the nice thing about Soldiers is it just works on a square base system. Doesn't matter what your base is, that is your UD. Once you've got your UD, you can work out all your measurements for movement and weapons and ranges from there. So it's a very flexible system. The only restriction is you have to base them on lovely squares, not rounds. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. Any round people, you see they are commanders who don't get involved in fighting. That's why they're on rounds. Don't bother with them. Are they on a square? I can fight it. Are they on a round? Ignore him. He'll go away.
I really do like the look of those.
Yeah, and just taking the time to do the basing rather than just putting them onto the flat. I mean, I like the flat bases with the printed grass texture that they do. Don't get me wrong. For doing it quickly, for their idea of introducing kids to history and wargaming, great. But I've seen a few people, including somebody that's done a whole Napoleonic army, and they've all just got really nice textured bases with flock and flower tufts and things on them, and they look fucking amazing. It looks so good. It just knocks them up massively. So, yeah, it's all really nice. Finish the last base.
Yes.
What?
Nice.
It's over. It's done now. Don't fuck around. You're 1-0 down. Why would you fuck around? Do you want them to score? Actually, if they do, then City win and Arsenal lose. So I can see Tottenham probably do want them to score, just so Arsenal don't fucking get it. Can't.
What I really like about these, even though they are just flats, they do
Yes.
look so dynamic. that
That's
many
the majesty
miniature
of Peter
companies
Dennis.
can just go flock off.
yeah. I mean, anybody who hasn't seen Peter's work, oh my God, may not appreciate this, but Peter, through his face page, Peter's Paper Boys, when he's doing something like a elephant for Carthaginians or a tank for World War II, for his own flat range, obviously these are based on his flat designs and then they've just printed them onto thing, he'll get like a white sheet of paper, no illustration or anything on them, but he'll sit there and he'll put up various versions, like here's an elephant where the head is flat and the body's round, and here's one where the body is flat and the head is 3D and then go, what if I do 2 layers of bodies? You've got front and back with the head on, and gets feedback from people, and it's all just done in white paper because it's just worried about the shape. And then once he's worked out what way he's going to do the shape of it for the flats, then he goes and does the illustration to fit afterwards. So some horses, for example, are like the chariots there, where it's flat that way on, and then occasionally he's done ones that are from side view rather than profile for specific reasons. So he doesn't just have a cookie cutter, all horses are from the front, all X are from the X style of design. He does a lot of fucking around. I mean, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that he would do biblical at some point.
Flat Jesus on a cross.
Flat Jesus on a cross. My own personal flat Jesus, like Depeche Mode said. Bum bum ba bum 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 ba bum ba bum.
And then you can buy your own cross to mount on your wall at IKEA.
IKEA
comes with screws and nails. Yeah, it was nice stuff. I'm guessing if you've done the last basing tonight, there might be a final update to that project.
With the bar report, you say? Well, he didn't, but I did. So
4-year anniversary. Not quite.
That's what I was going to say.
What? Crucifixion?
No. Apparently Labyrinth is 40 years old.
Yeah,
I find this hard to believe.
There's a new game coming out. A re-release of that board game.
Probably. From the Rivery Horse. But I was more about the fact that they reckon it's 40 years old. And I know it can't be 40 because 1990 was only 10 years ago. And I made that joke on the Book of Faces and somebody corrected me about the length of time it's been. It's your first day on the internet, son.
Obviously it has.
You fucking idiot. Anyway, so yes.
Wait me when September ends.
Wow. Anyway, so if anybody wants to see this wholesome family tale of the sexual awakening of a young girl and David Bowie's ball sack, then they too can watch Labyrinth. There's a whole dissertation on the internet about that, up to and including the eating of the peach. It's all about her sexual awakening. So, can on see that.
Since Stanley mentioned it, yeah, I think it's about 2 days from now would be the my Twitch 4 years on Twitch.
Really?
Yep.
Why would they let you on for 4 years?
And they even start paying me. Isn't that weird?
And they're paying you. This is super weird. This is fucked up, man. It's like a turtle fucking a shoe.
Brouhaha.
Anyway.
Feels definitely longer, especially if you think that this whole shebang is just inspired because some weird people like John and Lance were sitting in OTT office talking about other people's.
How about just subscribe? Oh, Jam, give me a thing. Thank you, Jam. I have no idea what those do. You're not the first person who've gifted me a thing for things, and I've never been able to work out what any of it does.
Nothing, really, unless I do chat for subscribers.
Can I do this?
Something.
What the fuck is that? Is that a Warren looking like? Oh, it's I've pressed things. I don't know.
Oh, you found Sexy Lloyd.
Found Sexy Lloyd. I just remember. I completely forgot he'd done that. That was a productive afternoon in the office. As Lloyd found pictures of all the members of OTT. I just decided, you know what I need to do? I need to turn them all into birds.
Shall we go on?
It's very so good.
Oh god.
I don't think
Help.
sexy me. I avoided it. I don't think I could cope with my beard. Anyway.
Dark Woods by Lovecraft 2020.
Yeah, the cat is back once again, doing cat-like things, pushing shit off shelves and building terrain for the tabletop.
For the oldie world. Gluing a bit of cork and some trees to the base. Are these trees built or bought? Huh?
Oh, built. Built.
Nice.
And when you go down, you'll see the building as well.
Wireframe, yeah, I guessed as much, but you never know. Some people might actually sell those.
Yeah, probably, but why would you?
When does the oldie world become the new world? Or is that the US edition?
Sorry, a friend's being evacuated from retired in Canada because wildfire is on its way. So,
Oh no.
yes. So Lovecraft, the cat, had done a load of wireframe trees years ago, which you'll see at the very bottom of the project. They were basic versions, not much foliage on them, mostly a bit of bare bark and lichen. Decided those trees needed retired, new trees need to be built, which I can appreciate. So to that end, out came the wire, out came some chipboard or MDF to make some bases, and then the bending began to make all the trees all the time. It is a tedious, time-consuming project. If anybody has ever made a wire tree, they will know this. But you cannot knock the results as far as twisty wire trees go. They have a really good natural look, especially if you're doing a spooky wood, fairy wood, something like that.
Yeah, the twisting of the wires gives them a certain gruesome look.
Yeah, and then after you've done it, you can texture them to remove the wire look. Now he's used tile grout and sand and stuff. I was very, I don't want to say lazy. Anybody's ever used Mod Rock in the past, which is a plaster impregnated bandage. It's the stuff they would make plaster casts out of.
Mm-hmm.
Mod Rock, I find, is really good for it. Incredibly fucking messy. But you can do something very similar via the medium of tissue paper and PVA glue and water. And just, you can do layers of that until you've got a suitable texture that masks the wire beneath. And I find that quite nice. It is one of those ones where you stick on a TV series, something like the Bale and Skull show, where you don't have to pay attention to the screen all the time because Balin's not always on. It means you can just sit there and work away. And then you just hear Balin and just think, oh,
Also, I think twisting the wires for the trees actually could benefit from you not looking at it at all the time. It gives them variation.
Yeah. This is the problem with trying to do something natural and random. There's a lot of time spent going, oh, that's a bit symmetrical, or that goes the same direction as that.
Yeah,
or I've got one on each side. No, that's wrong.
If you pay too much attention, it just doesn't grow naturally in literal sense.
Yeah. There's a lot to be said for it. And again, most impressive thing, fucking cat. Opposable thumbs. How does it do all the wire twisting?
I'm pretty sure the cat has managed to make her can opener do all the work.
Oh no, 100% Lovecraft 2020 is a cat. That's what I decided several years ago, and that's not changing. And I will never let this go. As anybody who's ever met me will know, I'm a stubborn bastard when it comes to things like this.
But you know what's missing on those bases?
Texturing.
Nah, a bit of a tar
Flock
pit
and grass.
and a horse head.
Oh, weirdly, somebody was talking about Never Ending Story today. Apparently, so they were saying that apparently it's getting a remake, and they're going, I don't know if I can watch it because of the, I can't watch the horse dying a second time. I'm going, still never seen the fucking thing.
Attack! Sharks.
Never seen it. I've seen that
Oh.
image on the internet and stuff. And for a long time, I thought it was Tom Cruise. But apparently, it's not. It's not Tom Cruise. So yeah,
Yeah,
I know
it's-
more about Never-Ending Story from Family Guy references than from the actual fucking thing.
As a child, it was one of my favorite movies. I watched it over and over again.
Yeah, you know, I'm not saying it's bad or different. I'd never seen it for whatever reason. Just never seen it. Couldn't be bothered. Yeah. Move on with my life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
better not seen the big sneezing turtle.
Toidle.
Yeah,
I like toidles.
A tortoise the size of a house or a small
El
mountain
Padar.
sneezing the hero off the branches of some dried and dead wood.
Did it make love to giant shoe going?
In the special edition. Though I think it was actually a female tortoise, so probably not.
You can't tell me I'm wrong.
Ancient Mall.
The next thing is yes. You fucking tube. Could be Ents. They are on separate bases, albeit wrong bases because they're around. But I mean, there's no reason why they couldn't be tree men. Especially that one on the far right who looks like he's striding forward.
He's just grabbing someone.
He's just got the arms are going.
Oh
This is
yeah,
racing
Never-Ending
time.
Story 1984 by Wolfgang Petersen. Yep, it's 40 years. Fuck.
Again, can't be 40 years because 1990 was only 10 years ago. That's how that goes.
Timey-wimey, weebly-wobbly.
Yep. Oh my god, you had a whole net to pick and you decided to kick it straight at the keeper.
So now, who's the last
A
lad
rat
of the evening?
bastard. Huh? Absolute rat bastards. I
Hazy
thought
boy.
we'd have a look at Hissy Boy, who has been working on Conquest Loac. And there's some interesting things in this update. First off, the fact that it decided to do some kit bashing and conversions. I'm on board with it. I'm impressed that anybody has even attempted it, considering how chunky those models are. I imagine the damage to your wrist will not be quick in recovering. But yes, you've seen the case. Yes.
Oh, after losing my hobby space to a child,
The,
I feel
there
that.
was an incoming child came and took the table away in the corner. So now there's a new hobby box, which is really nice. I dimly remember that being reviewed like fucking 10 years ago when they came out with that Frontier one.
Look, he has his own topper to display the speedy paints.
Yeah. Oh, all mod cons him. He's not behind on the whole latest fashions of the kids and the other today.
And there's the proper one.
Oh, it really is. I think they sent like a small one to the office, but long before I was there. I think Justin decided he really needed it. And I imagine it's buried somewhere or probably in the bin on top of the fucking dwarves or something, because he's got no appreciation for the finer things. But I always like the look of it. Couldn't justify the price. And also I have a whole fucking room for my stuff, so I don't really need one. But I do like it. It's very traveling apothecary of the 19th century feel about it. You're just stepping off a fucking steam train into a dry gulch fucking town, attempting to sell some snake oil. Anyway.
Snake oil, and even more.
Good times. But yeah, another cracking set of figures, and I really like another St. Ivel army with the blue and yellow. Penalty for fucking City. I'm just gonna go ahead and mute this because fuck you, say 115 FC. I hope you all do time. I hope they strip every title you ever had, you cunts. Where were we? Yes. I like the blue and yellow. That's what I was saying. Blue and yellow's good. Raki-san says Ewok. Oh, man. It's like you've just arrived at a fight between the USSR and America, and you are Liechtenstein coming in at the last minute with your Raki-san. You don't even have skin in the game on this one, boy. But yeah, it's nice to see the 100 Kingdoms trucking away, especially with the introduction of the new Kniggets, a whole rake of exciting and different houses coming. We're hopefully going to be doing a load of stuff. I say hopefully. We are going to be doing a load of stuff because I've got to fucking paint another conquest army.
So you'd be 2 armies ahead of everybody else.
No, at that stage, I'll be 3 armies ahead of everybody else.
Oh fuck!
3.5 if you count the fact that I painted most of the fucking city-states as well. But you know, we'll just leave it at that. So Sorcerer Kings is coming. Just throwing that one out there, hazy. Obviously they're here, but the plan is to do like a themed week type of thing where we do like interviews and designer chats and stuff as well, and then paint a whole fucking army.
I do like that box.
Get the base off. I think he's only done like 3 jam. I think he didn't even do enough. Anyway, sorry, you were saying about the box.
Yeah, I really do like that.
Yes, the nice thing about things like the painting handles and the storage is it's all mechanical solution. It's no magnets, so everything is worked through. This clips in here and then that slides in front or slides out, and I do like the simplicity of a mechanical solution to things. You don't always need to go, well, let's just stick in £15 worth of rare earth magnets. How about we don't? How about we design it that it doesn't require a ton of rare earth magnets that are almost certainly going to fuck your heart over at some stage. We have no idea of the long-term effects of a rare earth magnet. We don't know. 10 minutes of time added on. You'd stop cheering, Pep. You can't. You've spent fucking like 4 billion on a team.
That I really can't have with these boxes is because would be still sitting here. I would be blocking my monitor. So yeah.
But that's the whole point. You close it and then you set it somewhere out of the way. It is movable after all. You only deploy it when you're about to do work.
Yeah, but
when you're about to
that's
hobby.
What I'm saying. If I'm starting to paint and I want to look at pictures for reference on my monitor, that's then behind that box. Which
why are you looking at pictures for reference on your monitor? Do that. Just paint. Just embrace the paint. Just dance. Spin for the sheer joy of spinning. Dizzy Devil Ducky.
Spinning. Whee! Whee! Whee!
Look at you with your no headphone. If I'd done that, I'd choke myself. Well, okay. That's how that one goes.
Yeah, the lovely things of wireless. And he didn't need to glue it. See, that's nice.
Yeah. Started painting off reference pics like a troglodyte. Oh, man. Oh,
well,
zombie
actually,
Jesus.
The troglodytes did the carvings in stone. They didn't
Oh,
have
but I
printers.
just thought something. I'm like some sort of fucking Scooby-Doo ghost. That's moderately better. Hello, Jurgen. Hello.
Ah, that was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Although, not as much fun as I hoped because the bottle is empty.
The bottle is empty. Your hovercraft is full of... You can trade them in now, can't you? You've got bottle of return things that you get cash money for, or is that only plastics?
No, it's everything.
Oh, there you go. See? It's all good in the hood. All good in the hood. There's that fella named after that Dunkeldorf miniature. I'm shocked, actually, that nobody complained about me singing. Assuming that they didn't cut that bit out, but I don't think they could have. Because the key is never to actually stop talking whenever I'm talking in a segment. Then they can't cut me out.
They let it in. I just had to think for a minute what you were on about. And then, the Dubbeldorf Kickstarter, yes.
Yes,
Right.
with the Jurgen Klopp messenger model.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Don't worry, I told Nikki and Nana how much I appreciated that. I'm not sure how we've got this far without me finding out that Nikki was a Klopp fan, but there you go.
Well, on a subconscious level, I'm guessing you always knew.
I always felt that they were decent people, not cunts. So in that respect, I imagined. Whereas, as far as I could tell, everybody at Games Workshop is a United fan. Every one of them. I'm not watching the last 3 minutes of time added on there because I can't imagine Spurs are going to fucking score 3 goals. So we're just gonna put that over there. Fucking City.
Yeah. I'm guessing Jerry's now going to look on the hunt for his ventilator. Because I'm not sure how the weather in Ireland is going to be. We have a forecast of being 25 degrees Celsius plus for the next 4 days.
We have something similar. We were told we were going to get thunderstorms the last 2 days. We got nothing 2 days ago. Yesterday it rained for a bit, but no thunderstorms. So it's just hot as balls. I opened the roof. There's a hatch into the roof loft, which is currently open. On the grounds, hot air rises, and if you open that, then it can fuck off into the roof space, thus keeping this floor just a little bit cooler. That's where I've got to now. I'm using fucking convection to try and cool me down. For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Physics called. It could go fuck itself.
25 over 10 is shorts, over 20 down to underwear. Well,
no, I'm not wearing anything below the t-shirt, mate. Don't worry.
If I were to go outside wearing nothing but underwear, people would go blind.
Well, yeah, the beacons are lit. Condor calls for aid.
The ISS would call. We can see signals from Europe. What's happening?
The minute there's any hot weather here, the minute it hits like 17 degrees and it's relatively sunny, every fucker starts doing barbecue, and it doesn't matter how good the weather actually is. It's just like sun's out, tops are off. That's how it goes.
Hits out.
Pretty well, yeah. Tops off, as in t-shirt tops, that sort of thing. Sun's out, tops off, on you go. That's us now.
And on that happy bombshell, I'm going to say, have a good night, everybody. I'm going to look for some more cold drinks or maybe an ice cream, and then
I'm going to have ice pops.
Yes, ice.
You can't stop me having ice pops.
See you next week, and hopefully Jerry will be back with us and not having to work overtime again.
Yes. Here's hoping. Yes.
UK Expo is the week after, isn't it?
Week after we start stripping everything out of the fucking studio. And the week after that is UKG. And I think for some fucking unknown reason, we leave on Tuesday for a thing that starts on Thursday. Okay. So yeah, so definitely UKG week. Last week in May, I will not be here. People will have to make do and mend. Just imagine I'm here shouting angrily at nothing in particular. There's not even going to be any football, so you won't even be able to do that. You could replay an older TV match and just randomly shout at it.
Or I could just rerun one of the first episodes.
Oh, that would teach
for
people.
Shits and giggles. See what anybody notices.
Yeah, don't tell anybody. See how long it takes. I mean,
with that, thanks everybody for being here. I'm out. I need to go and have a quick nap.
Teddy bye.